In this video, I'm going to give you a quick overview of Git. Git is version control software. It is like track changes in Word. Git links up with GitHub, which is an online service where we can share our repositories. The thing that Git tracks is a repository. Let's get started. In my home directory, I'm going to create a directory called git test and change directories into that. Now this will be a Python project, so I want to first create a virtual environment, which I'll do now. I type python 3 -m venv env. Next, I want to set this up as a Git repository. To do this, I use the command git init. What this means is that Bash uses the Git program to initialize this directory as a Git repository. Initializing as a Git repository means that the directory sets up tracking. If you list the hidden files and folders, you'll see a folder called .git. This is where all the tracking information is stored, but you'll never need to go into that folder. Now I want to add a file called gitignore. This is a list of files and folders that Git should ignore from version tracking. I know that I want to ignore my virtual environment directory because that's not part of my code. To create and add my gitignore file, I simply type echo env greater than .gitignore. This creates the file and adds the line env to it. Now we can create an arbitrary file. I'll create that with the command touch hello.py. This will be a Python program. Then I'll open it with nano and add some Python code to it. Let's say print hello world. Now exit. Now we create an now I'm going to do a commit. A commit is basically a version of the software. It tells Git to save the state of the code at this point. First, I want to see the status. I type git status. You'll see untracked files .gitignore and hello.py. This means if I committed now, Git would not be tracking those. So I need to add those to tracking. The command is git add period. I could replace the period with the names of the files, but the dot means add everything that's not being tracked. Now, if I check the status again, I see that those files are tracked. Now I need to do my commit. The command is git commit, and then some message here. Whatever is in the quotation marks after the M flag or message flag is the message that will be saved with the commit. My message is going to be initial commit. Now that's done, all I need to do is connect this local repository that is being tracked to GitHub. My first step is to go to GitHub and create a new repository there. I'll be calling it, I'm just leaving the default settings and not adding readme or license. I'll call it git test. Next, I need to link the local repository to that repository by copying this address Finally, I go back to my terminal and I enter the command git remote add origin followed by the address I copied from GitHub. The last step is to push my local repository to the remote repository with the command git push origin master. Which means use git to push the origin or push to origin the master branch. Now we need to go back to GitHub and see that our changes are there, and we're good. Each time I make a new commit, I will then push those changes to GitHub. So that's the basics of Git and GitHub. This is the last video for this week. So I will see you in the next set.